Hello everybody, my name is Moon, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be looking at the June roadmap and review it, and honestly, oh boy, the event portion of this is just gonna be, oh god. We're gonna talk about it. So without further ado, let's get on to week 1. So week 1, we got the Gen 3 Halflingers finally. Honestly, y'all, I'm gonna be very honest about this horse. It just seems very basic.
Here's why you lose. Your mom does your taxes. You single-handedly kept the chapstick industry alive by never remembering where you put yours. When I met you, you had Magnum condoms in your wallet from high school. You drink Fireball. You planned a Santa con. You think your fantasy football win had to do with skill. And due to your previous shenanigans, your Uber rating is like a 2.5, you common basic bitch.
And here's the thing. It's cute and all, and it's pretty, but it's just a very basic looking shade color range where 4 shades look the fucking same to me. Somebody tell me the difference between these fucking shades, because I can't fucking tell at all besides either the lightest one, the darkest one, the middest one, and that's it.
So I am confusion. Why is this one Kansas, but this one is not Arkansas? America, explain! Explain! What do you mean in Arkansas?
Plus, I also kind of feel like they just took a Gotland pony, made it a little taller, and then put fucking hair on it. That's really all it is. I know this is made by Miss Nami, but this is a very basic horse. It probably might be the most basic horse we ever get in the game. And its side, honestly, give it a 7 out of 10. It's just very basic in my opinion. Cute and all, it's just not really something that's eye-popping with the colors and everything else. It's just kind of just meh. Wish they would do something a little different in terms of markings and whatnot. Or I just wish in terms of the body type, I wish they went for a more bigger body type and not this small, slim-looking sports type. But yeah. Another thing I forgot to mention real quick, Campos and Talina are also back. Okay, back to the video. Alright, now let's get on to the festivals portion, which we're going into the Rainbow/Pride Festival. And, oh god, y'all gonna have fun with this section. Have the Rainbow/Pride Festival, the festival that usually is always recycled, but it looks like SSO did try to do something different. So before I go into my gripes about this festival, let's give the recap of the quote-unquote quest line that we got for this festival. So depending on where you are, the closest stable near you, you will encounter Pico, which is Micah's frog. However, I don't know if this was a bug. I feel like it was a bug, so I'm just gonna say it. Basically, if you try to leave the area Pico is in, you will get dragged to the same spot your character sees Pico over and over and over again.
I'm time itself.
Now I'll make it worse for running.
So basically, essentially forcing you to start the quest even though you don't want to. And I was trying to go to Sean's Rainbow, but no, Pico just wanted to assert his dominance. So then after you talk to Pico, and depending on whether you know it or not, he wants you to take him back to Micah. You give him back to Micah, and then Micah tells you that shit's going on in the Rainbow Cloud Kingdom, and turns out all the fucking color's gone. So now you gotta look for these fucking rainbow-ass color fragments all over the place, either in Cloud Kingdom or on Jorvik. And she has the first one that she found randomly on her travels. I'm gonna tell you right now, y'all. Basically, the activities that you do in the Cloud Kingdom is the exact same shit that's always been there. But in terms of what they have in Jorvik, it's sprinkles. And essentially, this took fucking forever. More specifically, Micah's item. And I had to look up the last 2. So, on Jorvik, basically, it all of a sudden starts to fucking snow. So you end up following these magical notes and, oh, won't you look at that? It's Kaja. And from here, you basically act like a college cop telling a frat party to keep their music down, but essentially you're just trying to kick her fucking out. And meanwhile, Catz is just talking about fucking death and also being emo, and then just, y'all, from what we got, this is very watered down. So afterwards, she says you can fucking try to get rid of the snow by melting shit. So you go melt these ice cubes, and then she's like, oh, fuck it, I'm just gonna fucking leave. I don't wanna fucking keep playing here anyway. And then she dips. That's it. So then you go back and then shit starts raining. And turns out you just have to help a fucking depressed Cloud trying to find his friends when it's literally right there in front of him. So you might as well need to get glasses because your friends are like literally like a few feet away. And from both of these, you do get 2 fragments. So you got 2 more fragments down here, and then fragments from in the Cloud Kingdom. So afterwards, you manage to restore the Cloud Kingdom, and that is basically the first week of the festival. Second week. You return to the Cloud Kingdom, but this time there's still a color missing, but only in the rainbow bridges. So then you have to fucking do the same exact shit again.
Let me just go in the bush and weep. Let me just go in the bush and weep. I just have to go in the bush and weep. Really. I don't understand.
But there's little very slight differences. I'm just going to give the slight differences. In terms of stuff that you have to do for Micah, you have to look for her shit this time on Jorvik, which by the way, nobody could fucking find until SSL told people where it was. And you know that Rainbow Mario Kart road bridge race that we do? Yeah, there was a bug saying about customer support issues that just kept popping up, and it was, oh god. In terms of Kaja's go follow her notes, this time Kaja didn't show up at all. We're going to be talking about this when I break down my pros and cons. But instead, she somehow managed to get her whole ass PC and a DJ booth with her music, and all you had to do was change it to something else. And that is the most anticlimactic thing I've ever experienced. Oh my lord.
It started when we were younger, you were my boo. Always be my oh, my oh, my oh, my oh, my boo.
So after you do everything from helping the depressed ass Cloud fucking see where his friends are and getting the shit for Micah and also reading more of her diaries and shit, you end up not being able to find one more fragment, but oh, won't you look at that plot convenience, and Nick Stoneguard has the fucking fragment. And then they theorize about the fact that Kaja could potentially be the Isengate Witch. Y'all not gonna be surprised if they looked up theories that we've theorized about Dino Valley years ago, because that's been a theory for a very long ass time. So you restore the fucking rainbows, and that's it! Oh god, this festival. So as always, let's start off with the pros. The pros. They added more pride flag bows, which thank god, because last year they forgot the gay MLM flag bow, and they also forgot other bows that aren't really targeted towards women. So we finally have a little more, but your ass still don't want to put in more masculine options, do you, SSO? Next, thank god Kaja is not the size of a fucking child, and she looks fine for her remake physically. And that's because people were concerned that she was going to be the size of a child. She is not the size of a child. Actually, she is roughly about the same height our rider is, so thank god. Next, we actually got a nice amount of horse XP, which thank you. And I guess for the last pro is that they did attempt trying to do something different with this festival, and I applaud that. Now for the cons. Oh god, Jesus Christ. For starters, we got an expensive ass pet and also ugly expensive ass clothes. Ladies and gentlemen, non-binary butts. I love rainbows. I do. But the clothes that came out this year for the Rainbow Pride Festival, they are very fucking ugly. I'm sorry, the ugliest one's gotta be this pastel fucking rainbow outfit, because it looks like if I took one of my college highlighters and drew on that dress, you would not even see the mark. Next, as I stated in my recap, I didn't like how it was trying to basically force you to start doing the festival by never being able to leave fucking Pico unless if you actually talk to him to where you can finally leave. And then I also didn't really like how the supposed plot of the festival is very stereotypical, especially in kids shows, because when it comes to a world losing color, this is very typically seen in a lot of kids shows like Rainbow Bright, My Little Pony, and even Dora. Another thing I didn't like about this festival is the fact that it was basically the same activities with only sprinkles of new shit, like the Rainbow Cloud and the fucking Kaja shit. And on top of that, that segues into my next point, at the fact that week 2 was basically recycled content of week 1. We essentially just did the same shit. And what I didn't like about this is, since week 1, that took me 45 minutes, minus when I took a little break to do Sean Rainbows. But when I did week 2, it just felt like a fucking chore even more than I did week 1. It didn't really felt fun, and I already wanted to be over with doing the activities by then, because I was just fucking done. And there was only just new additions with the cutscenes.
I'm Ash from Pallet Town. I gotta catch 'em all.
Next, there was actually barely any of Kaja, yet they used a lot of promotion to show she was going to do something big with her fucking floating in the fucking promo pictures. All she did was play at a lighthouse. That's all she did. She held a Lindsey Sterling concert, and then she left after we told her to fuck off. That's all she did. And she even hold the fucking violin wrong. That ain't how you hold a fucking violin. Next, I didn't like how the writing didn't really do a good job at trying to link Kaja being a part of the Isengate witch plot from Dino, and it just felt like that they just had her play the part and not really show up anymore, because I also feel like with the fact that since the trailer was misleading in itself, she looked like she was supposed to be more intimidating than what we got with fucking Krusty's ass, Sabine's remodeled ass. And when we got to see her in the game, we had very little interaction to really judge what we thought about her character. We basically got like 10% Kaja, then 90% water, as if it was fucking lemonade.
2 shots of vodka.
And now my next point, I'm gonna be very fucking upset about this. Sean's Rainbow's Hunt was fucking ruined, and there was barely any sort of reward. And what I mean by that is, initially when I first started doing the rainbows, I was very turned off when I got junk for my first exchange with Sean.
Avocado! Thanks!
They changed the system this time. Instead of getting to mine the gold yourself, you have to do 50-50 of going to each pile of dirt and hope that you get fucking gold to be able to be done with the fucking quest. But the thing is, you need 7 to exchange for the gift boxes to get shit. And most of the rewards was Jorvik shillings and horse XP. And the problem with that is people thought that they didn't get shit. In terms of the rewards you could get with the Rainbow Festival, I tested this. You could get a tan colored version of the hat that you get at the end of the little quest line, and you can also get a rainbow dog. That's literally it. By getting trashed the first pull, that just really makes it demotivating a lot, because it doesn't really motivate you to actually go keep doing this. Next, there was no fucking rider XP.
I am perplexed! What happened? Oh my god, wow.
We're gonna talk about this when I get to the summer festival portion, cause ooh god. And finally, my last con, I feel like they really just didn't use the Fort Pinta Beach Parade or the party itself at all, since it was recycled with just changing the outfits of NPCs and then trying to make the dance floor look as populated with NPCs, but it was still fucking empty in terms of player sense. Really, the only purpose of going there was to either get pride bows or get the fucking pet. That's all it was. As always, I asked y'all questions about what's your thoughts on the festival, so we're going to start off with the first question I asked, which, did you enjoy the festival? And it leaned mostly toward to the hell nah portion, which is very understandable because this was very shit. I then asked if y'all had any thoughts about the festival, and for those that answered, mainly y'all loved the pride bows that they added, but that was really about it besides what you liked, and it was just the fact that the festival itself wasn't interesting and it was boring due to how it was repetitive and even shockingly confusing, and also how expensive stuff was in the stores. Then another question I asked was, what did y'all thought about the Sean's Rainbow stuff? Because since initially a lot of people were talking about how they were able to get the pet within 11 to 15 pulls, which was why I tested out if you could get some shit. This was basically what I was curious if anybody had anything different, because I did suspect that there was RNG involved. And responses were a mixture of, I was turned away because of how I got garbage the first time, or I didn't even know there was shit going on, or it was over 10 pulls till I actually got something. To add on to this, I didn't get the hat till I got to my 10th pull, but in that span, I got a mixture of horse XP, Jorvik shillings, inedible food that you can't eat from the cafe, as well as some stuff you could get to your horse for food, and that was about it till I got the hat. And then there was some more horse XP and Jorvik shillings and a hay bale till I actually finally got the dog. And this honestly just shows how bad Sean's Rainbows was this year when it came back finally after so long. They fucked up the system thinking this was going to be a better idea, but it wasn't. Because especially when you look at the previous Sean Rainbows, they were more worthwhile because you actually got a full fucking set. This, you either got an immovable pet that just fucking hops out of your dog bag, or you got a hat. And then the final question I asked is, if the Rainbow Festival was ever improved again, would you try it again? And honestly, this actually surprised me because it was kind of a 50-50. For starters, the first answer in place was yes, 50% of y'all will try this again, but 44%, most of y'all were unsure about it. And then there's the 6% that said hell nah, which is very interesting because when it comes to this festival, this usually falls flat due to the activity portion as well as not really having anything to do besides just shopping. And I think this just also just really shows how flawed this festival was this year compared to the previous years. So now on to the grading, which, oh god. Activities, it got a 0.15 out of 5. Planning got a 0.75 out of 5. Character incorporation got a 1.25 out of 5. Purchasable products, which this is not a surprise, 1.5 out of 5. Presentation, 2.75 out of 5, especially with the misleading. Quest, 1.25 out of 5. Horse XP, 5 out of 5. Rider XP, and this shouldn't be a surprise either, 0 out of 5. And that fucking equates to 12.65 out of 35, which equals 0.36 out of 10. Nice try, SSO, but this was fucking shitty as hell. Alright, let's move on to Midsummer and the fucking magical horses, dear god. So the next roadmap is, oh shit. Okay, now that's better. So the next festival that happened this month was the Midsummer Festival, and this will actually be the last Midsummer Festival. And for me, it's bittersweet, and we're going to talk about why. The fact that this is supposed to be its grand send-off before they start doing a whole summer festival version like they were doing with the Equestrian Festival for spring, I just feel like this festival never really got the chance to actually improve ever since it moved to Moreland. Because ever since it moved to Moreland and taking out the flower crown thing, it was just recycled over and over. You only go there now to actually do the fishing pond activity, and that's really about it about this festival. Yeah, you can go back and do the frog dance and play on the instruments for the 7th millionth time, but there was never really any sort of improvement in terms of activities that you could do physically and not just sit there and watch your screen as your character just does a loop dance for over 5 hours or something like that.
First, let me hop out the Porsche, I wanna hit that.
Shut the up. Now. Yes.
And unfortunately, if you thought the Rainbow Festival / Pride Festival score was low, this one's going to be low. So let's first look at the pros. It somewhat had more stuff to do than the fucking Rainbow Festival, at least for the most part. There's still nostalgia, and this is just coming from somebody that's almost played this game for almost 10 years now soon. So of course there's going to be some nostalgia in this. You did get some full stack clothes without any fucking pants though from a code, at least that's a plus. And unlike fucking Rainbow Festival, it had an incentive a little bit to just go to the fishing pond. As for the cons, this was recycled like last year, so there wasn't really anything new besides going to the stores. And also, obviously, there's expensive ass clothing. Besides the fishing pond, there isn't really an incentive to go there unless if you just want to do something with your club for a bit. The quest can be complete in a day, so there's not really any sort of build up to actually having a festival. And I think my final point of this is the fact that, as I kind of stated when I said that this feels bittersweet, for a festival that's supposed to be going on for its last round, there wasn't really that much of a bang to be left and actually have any sort of remembrance by. And what I mean by that is, usually if you're doing a festival for the last time, you want to go all out. I just feel like they didn't put as much effort into this festival compared to the minimal effort that they put into the Rainbow Festival, and that's saying something. There wasn't any sort of effort at all when it comes to actually doing more activities than what we were doing and actually giving this festival a proper send-off before they try to do their new event system again.
Oh my god! A tornado is forming! Bye! But we going shopping!
I'm also not including the new magical horses here because I'm grading those separately from the Midsummer Festival. And also, if anybody was curious on what the fishing pond outfit looked fully, which is why this is coming out a little later because of that, this is what it looks like. Alright, now the questionnaire portion of the Midsummer Festival. I first asked, did y'all think this was a proper send-off for the Midsummer Festival since this is its last time being here, as I stated before? And unanimously, those who answered all said no. Thank y'all for also agreeing with me that this was a shitty send-off of a festival. And then the final question, which was also unanimous, did y'all enjoy the festival? And most of y'all have linked it towards the hell nah portion. And we all know damn well that this was a shitty way to go, man. I'm sorry, this was a shitty festival for its last time being here. It just wasn't going off with the bang, it was going off with the sad bang. Alright, now let's get on to the grade portion. Activities is 0.1 out of 5. Planning, 0.75 out of 5. Character incorporation, 1 out of 5. Purchasable products, 1.5 out of 5. Presentation, 2.5 out of 5. Quests, 1 out of 5. Horse XP, 2 out of 5. And Rider XP, which is also surprising, 0 out of 5. And that concludes to a total of 8.85 out of 35 to equivalent to 0.25 out of 10.
Damn.
Yeah, buddy. Me too. Also, another thing I like to talk about before I move on to the horses is the Rider XP issue. So you see, SSO thought it would be a brilliant idea to fix the XP gap that we've been having for years by taking away XP or not even adding a max level for people to catch up in terms of XP. Yes, SSO, yes! And if you're wondering what people thought of this response, it got very, you just see for yourself. Still on the floor, buddy? Me too. Here's the thing, I fully understand that they need to fix the XP gap issue, but if I am being completely honest, you are not allowing us to close that gap by having no XP to actually fix that gap. I think what they should have done was up the XP of quests that a lot of older players have already finished, and once they know for sure everybody is at the same level so far, then they can give amount of XP that's actually worthwhile when it comes to playing. But taking it out completely just to try to close the gap doesn't close the gap, for one, and two, it doesn't even bring incentive to actually play the game or do quests at all in this game if you're just going to have no XP. And by validating the fact that it was because older players were able to get more XP prior, you're basically punishing them just because they were here first. Now, since this is kind of a bit of a debate now, do y'all have any other opinions than mine on how to actually fix the XP gap issue? Or do y'all agree with SSO's reasoning? I personally don't agree with this, and the reason being is, how are you going to push out more content that's with quests if you're not going to give us any Rider XP as a reward? We already get so much horse XP from just training. Literally, you can now train your horse in 2.5 days or less now. This is just very stupid because the core thing an MMO has is XP for the player itself, besides familiars and stuff like that. Literally, you are supposed to have fucking XP, and if you take that out, that isn't going to do shit for this game. And I'm getting really heated
Because this is one of the most stupidest damn decisions y'all ever made. I don't know why y'all this was the better idea. First your ass did game guard shit, and now you're giving us an XP drop. This might as well be the great fucking Rider XP depression. Because there's nothing else to do in this damn game.
Okay, I am calm. Oh my lord. So to conclude with this, by taking out something that's very important that's in the core of your game as an MMO, you are removing incentive to actually do quests for this game by having no XP at all. So this is probably a good sign to look at how you scaled out your XP so that you can scale it to where everybody can get the same amount of XP going forward once they're all at the same level. But by taking out Rider XP, you will never solve the issue of people not being able to reach level 23 yet, SSO, and this is why this is one of the most stupidest decisions you've ever made. Next we have the new fish horses Sedna and Proteus, and
I am disgusted.
oh god, these are fucking ugly. Okay, listen ladies and gentlemen, as y'all know, I'm not really a huge fan of the Appaloosa models. I think they could be better, they're okay, but they're just But these magical horses, one of them look like mac and cheese and the other look like bacon strips. And on top of that, if we look at the already existing ones, which I do like them by the way, but here's the thing, these two look like strawberry and blueberry yogurt. For starters, I do gotta appreciate with these new fish horses that they did try to put more detail into their coats. I appreciate that. But oh god, these are fucking ugly. Senna? Shit, no wonder why you Senna, because you're looking like mac and cheese that starts out 1 cheese and becomes 5 cheese in its magical form. And your cat that goes with it don't help too, since that looks like on the side looks like some stacked up cheese on the side. Proteus, no wonder why you look like bacon strips, since you belong in the protein section of the food pyramid with your cat. And with both of these, ladies and gents and non-binary buds, yes, these are fish horses, but let me tell you something. Does a fish's tail move up and down? The only one that can do that is like a dolphin and a whale. A fish does not move its tail up and down. And when you put it in horse format, it looks uncomfortably weird. What is this?
Today. Oh my god, what is that? Oh my god. What is that?
He's out, he was looking, look.
Shit, y'all might be up there with the Dragon Frisians and the fucking Budget Hearts. Jesus Christ. I'm sorry, y'all. Compared to Campos and Talina, they're not really up to par. I can understand they're trying to be more detailed with the coats. I get that. But when you put it on a horse that is mediocre at best, I am sorry, and as well as pairing it with a fish that's not really something you would want in a horse, no offense, I'd much rather go for Campos and Talina than Sedna and Proteus. Like, what the fuck is this? I can understand they are trying to do more exotic like breeds, but this is not cute. I just don't see why this is a beautiful idea to take a lionfish and a goldfish and turn it into a horse. And I knew it was going to look fucking ugly because of this reason. It just looks weird with the tail not moving like a fish, and then on top of that, even if you look at the fucking normal coats, I do gotta say though, Proteus's coat is the closest thing you'll get to a zebra on a normal horse. And then when you look at the normal coat of Sedna, it's just very bright with its coat, and the mane, it just is very fucking bright. And then my final thing that I didn't really like them about this is that I didn't like how they chose the roach manes for this horse. I can understand why, since, you know, they're trying to go with the scales, but in my opinion, I think the roach mane looks like shit on Appaloosas. This is just my opinion. It normally looks like shit to me. But yeah, the only way I would only buy this horse is for that zebra coat, and that's it. That being said, I'm giving the rating on these two horses a fucking 4 out of 10. They do a good job in detail, but once you look at everything else, that shit drops down completely. Alright, now that we have gone through all the weeks, I decided to save this best part of the damn month for last, because honestly, this is the only good thing that happened this month. So, roll it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Ding dong, Game Guard is dead, bitch! Hallelujah!
Iron, pull me over now, cop!
Alright, with that being said, y'all, that concludes the June roadmap review. And already, by looking at what's coming up next, we're having fucking Guillermo's bitch ass again, which is making me less hopeful for what July is supposed to hold. But yeah, that was the June roadmap. Let me know what were y'all thoughts of this month, and do y'all think that SSM made some good decisions this month, or do you think they made bad decisions? Let me know in the comments if you want. Alright, y'all, with that being said, thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye!